Alright, there's a lot of room for new and returning characters in Liu Kang's new era of Mortal Kombat, but I personally think it would be cool if NetherRealm explored digging into the MK archives and found a woman who has never officially been a part of its roster and actually made her a force in the new games. That woman being Vorpax of Mortal Kombat Conquest. Okay, I'll explain who Vorpax is in a second. Now, Vorpax was a fascinating character from the TV show. Before explaining how she would fit in Liu Kang's new era, I'll give a brief explanation for her history. Vorpax was a prisoner of Shao Kahn's cobalt mines in Outworld. She formed an abusive relationship/partnership with Shang Tsung, of all people, to try to find the means of escape. Eventually, she would be rescued by warriors from her realm and was freed from the cobalt mines. It's revealed that she was actually intentionally caught in Outworld to spy on Shao Kahn for her mother and queen, Kriya, the empress of a distant realm of Amazonian women who produced hundreds of women within hives at a time. Princess Vorpax convinces Kriya to form hives on Earthrealm and Outworld to breed with the men, not a bad way to go, and overpopulate the realms that way to take it over without actual invasion. So that the Elder Gods won't punish them and intervene. This is where the story goes pretty left. After the hives are destroyed in both realms, she uses Kung Lao and his crew to kill her mother, injuring Kung Lao in the process, while absorbing her mother's powers and making her the new queen, and she begins producing hives, which she planned to do so with Shang Tsung. Of course, this doesn't happen anyways when Shao Kahn goes on his rampage at the end of the show. The potential for a character like this in modern Mortal Kombat is actually huge. Because we're in yet another new timeline, we could potentially explore realms or the idea of realms that have never been seen before. Or, we could actually just eliminate that entirely and merge Vorpax's backstory with another one of a missing Mortal Kombat character. Because of the loose ties to Vorpax, Kriya, and a race inspired by bees, if we're being quite honest, or some type of insects, it would be pretty fascinating if Vorpax was an actual ancestor of the original Kai-10 within Outworld. This would make Vorpax the ancestor of Devore. It also merges the ideas of the Krians from the show with the Kai-10 insect humanoid race, whatever they're supposed to be from the new games. Personally, I kinda like that idea a lot more than bringing back Devore, who, while a fun character, is also one of the most hated characters in Mortal Kombat history, for a few reasons. Vorpax in and of herself was already difficult to read in Mortal Kombat Conquest, as she wasn't really a hero by no means, but she had extremely loose alliances with all of the villains in the show. It also doesn't help that she's deceptively powerful too. And Mortal Kombat 1 would be a perfect chance to explore the relationship of Vorpax and Shang Tsung. Also, it would be cool in Mortal Kombat 1, or I guess the next game would be Mortal Kombat 2, to explore the relationship of Vorpax and Shang Tsung, the latter of whom should still be imprisoned in Outworld. Would kinda be cool to see them both trapped together in this new world. Almost like her and Shang Tsung will be coming full circle in Liu Kang's new era. Now, how would this Vorpax look in a new Mortal Kombat? In my head, I see Vorpax looking closer to the royal look she had towards the end of the show in Conquest, at least blending that a little bit more with her regular bodysuit look. In my concept design for her, I maintained her green and gold color scheme with black boots. I just wanted to make a point to add more detail to her design. But as I said earlier, I also wanted her to have ties to the Kai-10. I hope I'm even pronouncing that name right, by the way. I added small extra spiked accessories to her clothes to make her resemble more of Devore's original Mortal Kombat X look. Again, my intention is kind of to make her look similar to Devore, but I don't want her to necessarily be just Bug Woman. A human like Devore would be a better way to view this. That being said, I did give her all black bug eyes, sort of similar to Devore's in like MK11. I solely did this to give her something that made her strikingly different from her original human look as portrayed by Tracy Douglas in the show. And since I brought it up, I intentionally tried to replicate Tracy Douglas's appearance as much as possible when designing Vorpax and trying to give her a new look. Didn't feel like she needed to deviate too much from how she already appeared in the show. And she's still a princess at the end of the day. I personally like this more regal look for her that I gave her, and I feel like it would fit very well in the new era of Mortal Kombat. Now, because of her ties to D'Vorah, some of D'Vorah's bug-like attacks could still be utilized by Vorpax here. However, I wouldn't, again, just outright make her Bug Woman. She doesn't need to play exactly like D'Vorah, but just have some of the similar attacks. She doesn't have the extra legs and stuff like that, so certain things she wouldn't be able to do just like her. Just manipulating certain insects and bugs and stuff, like those type of attacks would be easy for her to perform in my mind. But I think she should have a sneaky or just a move set that has a bunch of close attacks and stabs and long distance setups. Vorpax has a sneaky personality and character, so I feel like her move set should kind of reflect that. A bunch of quick get-ins and get-back-outs, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Melina's stabbing attacks and grabs I feel like would be cool, and then long distance setups similar to like Katana's fan lift and square wave would be amazing for Vorpax. I don't know, thinking outside of the box here, maybe instead of the fan lift give her something similar to Rain's water bubble trap, for lack of a better term, and just make it something gross and bug-like. Like, I'm not sure what it could be. I was about to say something pussy, but that was just... Anyways, I'm not really sure, but you could really play with her a lot. Even some teleports, since seemingly every Mortal Kombat character now, but Sub-Zero, has to have a teleport at this point. I don't see why Vorpax couldn't have one as well. Especially also entertaining the idea that she's sorceress-like. I've said this in a previous video when I redesigned Omichis for Mortal Kombat Conquest, but I love the idea of having female sorceresses in a Mortal Kombat game, just because there's so few, if there's even been one at all. And that being said, having an insect-like sorceress would just be adding another layer of uniqueness to Vorpax to make her familiar yet unlike any other previous Mortal Kombat characters. I've said this a million times at this point, but I believe there are a lot of Mortal Kombat characters from the show that have not been explored in the games, and they should be. Some of these characters were amazing for the record. Considering Mortal Kombat has done stuff like giving us Quan Chi from the Saturday morning cartoon, or Takeda from Mortal Kombat Conquest, at least technically, there are more people that I feel like need a game entry. But Vorpax falls into that category of females that I feel like could come back, or I guess be introduced into the series from the game standpoint. You know, the most important part of Mortal Kombat. Again, check out Maru Meech's video from the show, another female that was used by Shang Tsung. Boy, he had a way of getting around, didn't he? But in any event, what do you think about a character heavily featured from the show like Vorpax or any other ones being included in-game as a canon part of the story? In any event, like, subscribe, hit the hype button if you haven't, and you all have a good one, and I'm out.